For 5 years, I'd seen a video of myself doing workout dances to lose weight on my husband's phone. He'd sent it to his intern with the caption, "Pig dancing." He told his mistress, "For you, I'd get a vasectomy." When I sprained my ankle, he abandoned me to accompany her to the restroom. He even threw a bath towel stained with a stain in my face, "Clean it up. Don't be such a dumb pig." But he had no idea that in just 3 days, 71% of Hayes shares would all be mine. I scoffed. Once the divorce papers came through, he wouldn't even have 9% left. "Grace, bring me my phone and clothes." Marcus issued orders as usual. Through the sound of running water, a woman's gasps were faint but discernible. Suddenly, a low grunt came through. Moments later, Marcus got dressed and threw the bath towel, still sticky with a stain, onto me. "Go clean the bathroom. You might slip and fall like a dumb pig again, and then what? Don't just laze around all day, enjoying yourself at home." The day he recorded that video, I mistakenly thought he had a change of heart and excitedly sprained my ankle. As soon as the car left the driveway, he kicked me out just to accompany his intern to the restroom at the office. Seeing that I hadn't moved, Marcus' gaze finally lingered on my face. Then it dropped to my slightly bulging belly, covered in stretch marks, and a flash of undisguised disgust flickered in his eyes. Just then, his phone vibrated twice. Marcus instantly changed his expression, and even his tone softened considerably when he spoke to me. "Fine, go make some special health tonic. I'm in a hurry to eat." I had no desire to argue with him. Before he could realize that he was allergic to the special health tonic, and how clumsy that lie was, I had already put the special health tonic in the pot. While waiting, I broke off a piece of bread to eat. With a smack, Marcus grabbed a nearby spoon and hit my hand. "Look how much you weigh and you are still eating. Grace, have some self-respect. Can't you just lose some weight? I'd rather you had heavy bleeding and died in the delivery room." Saying this, he sighed helplessly. "Marcus." I cut him off. The thought of just enduring a little longer, which I just used to comfort myself, vanished. It's only been 3 months since I gave birth. Lily hasn't been weaned from breastfeeding yet. I need to eat to get proper nutrition. Marcus looked a bit uncomfortable. "Don't I know all this? My point is, you should eat less of these unhealthy things. You love doing housework, don't you? Can't you just make your own food?" An unsettling silence filled the air. "I'll go check on Lily. You watch the heat here." Less than 3 minutes later, Lily wailed at the top of her lungs. Marcus rushed out, his face flushed with anger, covered in milk stains. "Grace, how are you raising this child? Why isn't she close to me at all?" I didn't bother to respond to his words, running straight into the room to comfort Lily. From the day she was born, Marcus disliked her resemblance to me, and rarely visited her. He even cursed us, saying we were like 2 primitive creatures without shame, the first time I clumsily tried to breastfeed. "Grace, I don't care that you eat and use my things, but I have one request for you: raise Lily well. Is she treating me this way because you are deliberately acting maliciously? Speak." He grabbed my wrist, roughly pulling me up to face him. To his surprise, my eyes were calm, devoid of even a hint of disappointment. I just stared into his eyes, speaking slowly and deliberately. "Marcus, I've told you countless times that Lily is lactose intolerant, and can't drink milk. Besides, this was made with boiling water." He quickly turned his face away, pretending not to hear, and poured the freshly prepared special health tonic into his thermos. Without spilling a drop, Marcus tucked the thermos into his clothes, and slammed the door shut. Overly sensitive, Lily was startled, and started crying again by the time I had calmed Lily down. It was deep into the night. The sharp, needle-like pain in my ankle kept me from sleeping. I opened my phone and saw Marcus' social media post from a minute ago. Woof. Scrolling back further, I saw a post from his newly hired intern. "Can I pet you? You are so fluffy, like my dog." Mr. Marcus, usually so aloof, was kneeling on the ground, shirtless. His hands were clasped behind his back, a chain gleamed around his neck, and his face was being stepped on by a pair of red-soled high heels. After liking each one, I followed the crowd and left a message below: "All the best. Alex's message arrived as expected. Miss Grace, the financing went smoothly. The process, originally scheduled for 7 days, is now expected to be completed within 3. The family had long since declined in Marcus' generation. With me there before, they had barely managed to hold on. But after Henry passed away, Marcus sidelined me during my pregnancy, which led to the corporation spiraling towards ruin. I spent a sleepless night. The next day, I went to the hospital for my prescription. And ran directly into Marcus. Are you stalking me? Grace, can you stop being so paranoid? Even if Tiffany and I have something going on, it's all your own fault. Tiffany, who was standing beside him, quickly intertwined her fingers with his. My, how can you say that to Grace? Even though she's old and out of shape, and unlike me, doesn't give you enough trust, she's still the wife grandfather personally chose. She then looked at me, the smile on her lips deepening. Grace, don't mind him. That's just how my Marcus is, he's always harsh with people he doesn't like. Here, let me apologize for him. Tiffany dumped her lipstick and loose powder from her purse into my arms. You clearly don't know how to take care of yourself. No wonder my Marcus doesn't want to admit he's married. After giving birth, to improve my swollen, acne-prone skin, I had pulled countless strings to contact a renowned studio for specialized medication, and had even ordered expensive cosmetics. When found out, he specifically had a courier company redirect the delivery address to Tiffany's home. Thinking of this, my belly suddenly cramped with pain. Marcus' gaze paused on me. He was about to speak, then seemed to remember something, and turned away. Tiffany, didn't you want to see Master's concert? Shall we go now? Really? Tiffany bounced onto Marcus, pouting her lips and kissing his cheek hard. Of course, as a reward for my sweetheart listening to me, and eating all her special health tonic. Marcus proudly pulled 2 tickets from his pocket. My heart sank, and I quickly reached out to snatch them. Marcus, give me back my tickets. Master's tickets were priceless. If it weren't for grandfather's acquaintance with him, I would never have gotten these 2 tickets with his autograph. Not to mention, today was his final performance. But I had clearly mailed them to my mentor in a gift box. Grace, not only do you not thank Tiffany, but you are being unreasonable. Tiffany's roommate keeps showing off about going to the concert. Today, no matter what, I'm going to let her go take pictures, and post them on her social media post. Don't talk about teachers. Even if Lily were in trouble, you wouldn't stop me. My parents passed away when I was 7, and Ms. Davis took on the burden of raising me. Now she has late-stage cancer, and her only wish is to attend one concert. Smack. Marcus saw me still trying to grab them, and slapped me hard across the face. You. He looked at his reddened palm, slightly stunned. Marcus was about to help me up when his peripheral vision caught sight of a tearful Tiffany, and he hardened his heart, kicking me in the belly. The corporation will bring over the contract for the subsidiary acquisition today. Go sign it for me. Know your place. Don't think you can boss me around just because you had a child. Then, he walked past me and picked Tiffany up in his arms. Less than half an hour later, I was in Marcus' office. My former private office had been opened up, all my belongings gone, replaced now by just a large bed. I lifted the covers, and there, tangled together, were Marcus and Tiffany's intimate apparel. Despite my decision to leave Marcus, I could never repay grandfather's kindness. The corporation he founded, I had to keep it running. After apologizing to my mentor, I had someone clean the conference room. This small command instantly provoked discontent from all the senior executives. Who are you, ordering us around now? Do S&T everyone know Mr. Marcus' girlfriend is Tiffany? He admitted it himself. Where did you come from? Only one young girl rushed over, panting, and handed me a sanitary napkin. Miss Grace, there's blood on your pants. I came to my senses and thanked her. In that instant, I understood why Marcus looked at me that way. The boy from my memories, who bought me sanitary napkins and tied his jacket around my waist, existed only in the past. Now, he couldn't even be bothered to remind me. My belly, connected to the C-section scar, was burning with pain. I had no choice but to ask Marcus to send me a pair of pants. A torrent of abuse poured over me. Grace, I never realized you were so jealous. Do you think I'm brainless? Just because I accompanied Tiffany when she had her period, you were using the same excuse. Did your belly open up too? Knowing I had something important today, why couldn't you just hold it in? The call abruptly disconnected. I opened my chat with Marcus and found it amusing that the most recent message was from half a month ago. He had asked if I wanted congee. That bowl of congee was leftovers Tiffany had packed. She forgot to take it, so Marcus brought it to me, then asked me to teach him how to knit a scarf. He was clumsy with his hands but eager to learn. So, even when I was asleep, he would shake me awake, making me knit the intricate patterns. By the time it was finished, my hands were pricked until they bled. Yet he complained that the scarf was dirty because I had touched it. A knock came at the door. It was the girl who had warned me earlier, bringing me a dress. Once I was ready, seeing her still waiting outside, I couldn't help but ask her a few questions. Miss Grace, during my interview, I spilled coffee on my shirt. You lent me your jacket, which allowed me to pass the interview smoothly. You are my idol, the person I admire most. Seeing the longing for the future in her eyes, I felt infected and broke into a genuine smile. Work hard. You'll be even better than me. Catching sight of a partner arriving, I strode over, offering a perfunctory nod and handshake. Behind the scenes, Alex was briefing me on the upcoming arrangements. Excluding the acquisition of the subsidiary by Vance, which we control, and your 36% stake, the finance department has already contacted all shareholders and arranged their respective dividends. We now hold a total of 71% of the shares, and the approval process has been initiated. In short, as soon as you divorce Mr. Marcus, Hayes will no longer have any connection to him. After seeing Alex off, I opened my phone and, as expected, saw Tiffany's new social media post, "Smart girl, and her dumb old man." It feels so good when casual words are taken to heart. I took screenshots of both their posts and sent them all to my divorce lawyer. Thank you for your hard work today. Vance has already transferred the cash flow to the company's account. I'll be back tonight to celebrate our anniversary with you. Contact Marcus. I glanced at it, but didn't pay it much mind, though I was slightly surprised. By the time I had packed my luggage and dropped Lily off at a friend's house, it was already late. Marcus suddenly sent me a text message. Come to my place to pick up the wedding dress. Just make up an excuse. Deliver it to Maplewood, Apartment A, today. That address, I knew, was Tiffany's home. When I got downstairs, he texted again, bring the takeout up. What greeted my eyes was a bag full of condoms. The door opened, and Marcus froze. The room was filled with a faint, lingering intimate scent that made me dizzy and nauseous. How did you find this place? He quickly grabbed his phone, his face turning pale, when he realized he had sent the message to the wrong person. Don't misunderstand. Tiffany was scared by you today. If you hadn't insisted on arguing with me, none of this would have happened. Tiffany nodded, wearing only one of Marcus' shirts, kneeling at his feet, clutching his leg. Grace, I accidentally deleted your contact info when I was playing with my Marcus phone earlier. I was afraid you'd be mad at me, so I just edited the last message in his call log. It's all my fault. Seeing tears about to fall, Marcus instantly hugged her close, his heart aching. It's fine. It's Grace's fault. If she hadn't saved her number on my phone, none of this would have happened. Tiffany glanced sideways, saw the wedding dress in my arms, and whimpered flirtatiously into Marcus' ear. Though it was supposed to be a whisper, she didn't lower her voice one bit. After she leaves, how about I wear the wedding dress, and I want to try something special with my Marcus tonight. Marcus must have realized I heard her words. He frowned, seemingly thinking it improper, then transferred 200,000 to my card. For your trouble? You should go home and rest. What's this worthless rock, my Marcus? It's poking me. Tiffany rolled her eyes, smiling sweetly, and pulled off the wedding ring from his ring finger. If you don't like it, I won't wear it. Marcus, intent on appeasing Tiffany, deliberately stepped on the ring in front of me. But she has one too. Tiffany pointed at me, and where Marcus couldn't see, mouthed a word, old so. As she wished, I also took off my ring, but I was even more decisive than Marcus. The ring flew out the window, directly into the flower bed, disappearing without a trace. Grace. For some reason, Marcus' voice was trembling. Seeing me stare at him with a puzzled expression, he lowered his eyelids and said nothing. It was Tiffany who broke the silence. Tell her to leave quickly. I can't wait to. Marcus hastily covered Tiffany's mouth. Grace, I'll celebrate our anniversary with you tomorrow after the board meeting. Besides, Tiffany will be there too. Make sure everything is arranged well. Okay. Seeing me agree instantly, he let out a sigh of relief and tossed the condoms into Tiffany's arms. The next day, the shareholder meeting. Marcus sat at the head of the table, his face covered in red marks. Seeing me enter, a flicker of displeasure crossed his eyes. What are you doing here? Go home and take care of Lily. Don't embarrass yourself at the company. Before he could finish, Alex led people into the conference room and placed the acquisition contract in front of him. It was all there, in black and white, clearly signed by me and all the shareholders. Before could react, he received a court summons. Mr. Marcus, we have received multiple pieces of evidence of your infidelity during the female's pregnancy. We are hereby notifying you that the court hearing is scheduled for 5 days from now. What game are you playing, Grace? Just because I didn't accompany you yesterday. Is that why you've brought all these people to intimidate me? Marcus didn't take the contract seriously. He picked it up, glanced at it, and coldly tore it to shreds. It's just a copy. If Marcus wants to tear it, let him. With just a glance from me, Alex understood immediately and produced several more stacks of contracts. Marcus' fingers tightened on the contract. Grace, are you serious? When did you get involved with Vance? Don't be ridiculous. This company was founded by my grandfather. What right does an outsider like you have to make decisions for me? And all of you being bullied right under your noses, and can't even speak up? Am I paying you so much salary every year just for you to listen to her mess things up? He looked at the silent crowd and forcefully threw a vase at me, shards scattered, but I wasn't hurt. I remained calmly and composed, seated at the table. What's wrong? Is bullying you? Tiffany rushed frantically into the conference room. She deliberately unbuttoned her shirt collar twice, revealing bite marks on her neck. Sister, this is the company. Don't go too far. Do you know how hard my Marcus works? After a long day at work, he still has to come home, and look at your face, I can barely bear it. Marcus ignored Tiffany's words for the first time. He stared into my eyes, and heavily slammed the contract onto me. A shareholder who had worked with grandfather spoke first. Marcus, we are not betraying you, nor are we betraying old Hayes. It's just that the company has reached a dead end. Being taken over is the best path forward. Moreover, with Grace as collateral, if you can't trust us, can't you trust her? Another chimed in. Marcus, sometimes people have to admit their shortcomings. You are indeed inferior to Grace in terms of company management. Not to mention how many veteran employees you've displaced with your rash decisions. Just this month alone, how many times have you been absent when a contract needed signing, leading to us losing the deal? Hearing this, Marcus stopped arguing. He pulled Tiffany behind him, and suddenly showed a knowing smile. Fine, very well. You've all ganged up to scheme against me. Grace, I should have seen your true colors long ago. Marcus slowly walked over to me, his fingertips lifting my chin, then tracing downwards to just above my navel. Did you sleep with Mr. Elias? No way. Who else could stand you? Do you even know how hideous the scar on your belly is? Hearing these words now, I felt not a trace of heartache, only a sense of unworthiness for having spent 5 years living with such a scumbag. Smack. 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 I slapped him again and again across the face, using all my strength, making the air around us freeze for a moment. Are you done talking? The first slap is me returning yours. The other 2 are what you owe me. Marcus remained bent over, 2 red, swollen marks on his face, utterly stunned. And I didn't feel satisfied at all. Marcus, is that all you can say? Does humiliating a mother who is still breastfeeding make you feel superior? How low can you stoop? Grace. You lunatic, don't you dare bully my Marcus. Tiffany couldn't stand to see Marcus suffer. She raised her hand to hit my face, but I kicked her to the ground. I then grabbed her hair and slapped her twice with my backhand, I tolerated you before because I was gathering evidence for my lawsuit. Why do you think I am really just a pushover, Tiffany, to be manipulated by you? I originally didn't intend to pursue charges against you, Miss Tiffany. I always believed that in infidelity, the husband's problem is far greater than the mistress. But you are so utterly unbearable, I couldn't help myself. I admit I'm not smart. When I was in school, others could finish their homework in class, but I had to study until dawn. Although the process was grueling, the outcome was always good. The same applies to relationships. I blamed all the problems on myself. At my worst, I suffered from insomnia night after night, waking up only to analyze my own faults. I thought I was stupid, that I couldn't reach his heart, but was inherently morally corrupt. No matter how hard I tried, how much I hoped for a future for us, it was just my unilateral wishful thinking. It was wrong from the start. You must have had a very comfortable year while I was on maternity leave, considering a fraction of the funds just deposited into the company's account disappeared in one afternoon. I frowned again, looking at Marcus. Did no one in the entire company notice? Or, Marcus, did you hire a bunch of incompetent fools while I was gone? Recalling the grievances I had endured, I used a broom to sweep together the sharp fragments on the floor, and poured them directly over his head. A sharp fragment grazed his eyebrow, drawing a few drops of blood. He ignored me completely. Enough, Grace. Whatever anger you have, direct it at me. Don't hurt innocent people. It was my fault for not consulting you on personnel. Marcus took a few deep breaths, forcefully suppressing the anger in his heart. But I knew he had taken my words to heart. Having known him for 20 years, though I was reluctant to admit it, I had to concede that I could detect the meaning behind Marcus' slightest gesture. He would definitely investigate Tiffany, and this was only the beginning. Grace, it's still not too late to stop now. I'll let you get involved in the company, but you need to understand that you are primarily my wife and a mother. You should first fulfill your own obligations. I am myself, first and foremost. I almost laughed in exasperation. Marcus, how dare you say that to me? From the moment I took over the company from grandfather, did I ever seek personal gain? I gave you and Marcus' uncle the greatest profit margins while I worked day and night in the office. Did I ever need you to worry about anything in the company? I owe grandfather a debt of gratitude, not you. You don't have to feel wronged by this marriage. If it weren't for me, you'd be no different from those ordinary Hayes family distant relatives, so how could you have reached this position today? I am the company's heir. I was just blind to choose you. Back in junior high, the state's top-tier school came to our town to offer free assistance to good students. Grandfather, upon Ms. Davis' strong recommendation, decided to sponsor me and even adopted me as the Hayes family's granddaughter. Afterward, he taught me to play music and paint, accompanied me in my studies and play, and after I came of age, he passed the company to me against all opposition, simply because he was afraid I would be wronged. Even on his deathbed, he was still worried about me, shedding tears as he spoke his last words. Grace, you'll have to walk your own path from now on. Grandpa can't back you up anymore. Marcus seemed not to expect me to bring up old grievances, nor for my words to be so harsh. He stammered incoherently, okay, Grace, I really didn't expect you to think that way. Even so, that's no excuse for you to file for divorce. This blowing up will do neither of us any good. Even if you don't think about yourself, won't you think about Lily? Tiffany, who had been overlooked, couldn't hold back any longer. Why are you talking so much to her? Didn't you already say you wanted me to be Lily's stepmother? Anyway, giving birth is such a pain, one person suffering is enough. I lowered my eyelids. I thought I had long grown accustomed to Marcus' favoritism, but my heart still ached. Lily was the child I had carried for 9 months and fought to save through heavy bleeding. But in his mind, she was merely a toy to please others. Shut up. Marcus glared at Tiffany. Our affairs are none of your business. Grace, I know you might feel wronged. Calm down. The company can be my apology to you. There's no need for so many procedures. Just recover and come to work. As for divorce, I don't agree. He was still trying to bargain with me, but I was already completely fed up with his act. Whether you agree or not is irrelevant to me, Marcus. I'm in charge now. Your thoughts won't influence my decision. And you, Tiffany, as women, I gave you advice. If really loved you, why didn't he marry you from the beginning? Even now, has he given you any promises? Has he taken any concrete action? When I first learned that Tiffany was using those underhanded tactics to seduce Marcus, I had warned her, even cautioned her. But she didn't understand. She didn't want to listen either. Grace, you don't have to sow discord here just because your marriage is unhappy. What I have with my Marcus is different from yours. To her surprise, Marcus slowly turned to look at her, his growing anger visible in his eyes. Tiffany, I'm telling you one more time, shut up. I smiled, the curve of my lips contemptuous, setting aside your Marcus attitude towards you. Even if he truly intended to marry you, you wouldn't live to see that day. Since you joined the company, $5 million has gone missing from the company's liquid assets. I've already reported it to the police. As for you, Marcus, I'm only willing to waste so many words on you, out of consideration for our past relationship. I will return the company shares to you in cash, every single penny. But as for you, who cheated on me during my maternity leave and even committed domestic abuse against me, for the sake of an outsider, how much you'll get is uncertain. As I finished speaking, security guards and police officers entered the conference room in an orderly fashion. Some took Tiffany away, while others escorted Marcus out. He finally realized I was serious. Marcus stared at me with unblinking eyes, his hands white and gripping the doorframe tightly. Grace, don't you dare regret this. I pried his fingers open one by one, my fingertip brushing over the wedding ring on his ring finger, the same ring he had trampled underfoot last night. I didn't want to ask why he had picked it up again. I didn't care anymore. I am sorry, I never will. While having someone clear out Marcus's belongings, a photograph suddenly fell out of a desk drawer. The photo paper was covered in dust, but I could vaguely make out us standing in the school corridor. I was reaching out to catch the snowflakes falling outside the window to give them to him, and his eyes shimmered with only my reflection. It snowed heavily that day. Yet the afternoon sun was exceptionally bright. I remembered the quickening heartbeats after our unintentional gazes met, and I also remembered the countless arguments that had erupted between us. My tears, accompanied by Marcus' silence, lasted for a year. Until I couldn't bear it anymore, and Marcus, as if nothing had happened, self-righteously blamed me. The day I decided to leave him was an ordinary one. I had simply worked overtime for a day, came home at dawn to find I'd forgotten my keys, and after Marcus rejected all 21 of my calls, I decided to make do with spending the night in my office. That night, the entire building was lit up. Marcus, who had mocked my large belly, had a watermelon tied around his waist, imitating my dances to amuse Tiffany. In that moment, the idealized image of the dashing young man in my heart shattered completely. Hot tears suddenly welled up in my eyes, and after I cried, only disgust remained. In the evening, I compiled a list of all personnel changes over the past year, and fired every employee Marcus had hired. No one dared to question my decision again. The high-intensity work, though somewhat unsuitable for my current physical condition, felt worth it when I thought of Lily. A child without an umbrella, after running for a long time, must learn to seek shelter, wait for the sky to clear, and re-equip themselves for the journey once fatigue fades. The day before the trial. Miss Grace, Tiffany wants to see you. When would you be available? Hanging up the phone, I immediately went to the police station. Tiffany no longer had her former defiant demeanor. She knelt before me, her voice careful and timid. I'm so sorry, Miss Grace. Please be generous and forgive me. I swear I'll never try to take Marcus from you again. I truly made a mistake. As long as you don't pursue charges against me, I'll do anything. Miss Grace, I truly know I was wrong. I was just momentarily greedy and couldn't control myself. I'm not as lucky as you. My family is poor, and I'm their only daughter. I just wanted them to have a better life in their old age. I'm not bad at heart. As she grew agitated, she slapped herself repeatedly across the face. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Why did everyone think my life was so good? Even used to constantly say I should be grateful to him. Without the Hayes family, where would I be? But if the price of being adopted by the Hayes family meant losing both my parents, I would never have wanted it, not even if it meant death. You don't need to apologize to me, Tiffany. If I hadn't gone this far, would you be acting like this? You are just scared. But this is all you brought upon yourself. You deserve this. Grace, I am begging you, my parents can't live without me. You know how painful it is for parents and children to be separated. Why are you so cruel? Do you want others to suffer the same pain you did? It turned out Marcus had even uncovered the deepest scar hidden in my heart, and revealed it to her. Ms. Grace, sister, please, just because we are both women, both daughters, let me go. I'll work like a slave to repay this money. By the end, she was almost hysterical. What else do you want from me? It takes two to tango. You don't want to get revenge on Marcus, so you are going to hurt me instead. But from beginning to end, her words didn't stir a ripple of emotion in me. Are you done venting, Tiffany? My time is worth millions per minute, and you've wasted 23 minutes of it. That money I will still charge you for. Grace. I pressed my index finger to her lips. I'll find the best lawyer, and do my utmost to extend your time in prison. Back at the company, I saw Marcus again, blocked at the entrance. Grace, it's been 4 days. Haven't you calmed down yet? Quickly tell the security guards to open the door. I made your favorite chicken soup. That's enough now, stop throwing a tantrum. I really didn't expect Tiffany to steal so much money. It was my fault for not fulfilling my responsibilities to the company. I nodded non-committally. These past 2 days, I've also reflected on my past actions. I'm impulsive and I speak without thinking. This past year, when you were pregnant, I really did have a lot of issues. But don't worry, I know I was wrong, and I'll definitely change. I still didn't budge an inch. Grace. Marcus still tried to make amends. We've been together for so many years. Can you really bear to end it like this? Grace, do you have any humanity? You've experienced losing both your parents. Lily is still so young. Do you want her to be like you, called a bastard at school, unable to speak up when she's bullied? Seeing that I was impervious to reason, Marcus said, exasperated, why have you suddenly become like this? Where did the understanding Grace go? Can pregnancy really change a person so much? When something happens, can't you look for reasons within yourself? If your figure hadn't suddenly changed, why would I have? I just made a mistake that any man in the world could make. Why can't you forgive me? I looked at him with a hint of amusement, my surging anger forcefully suppressed by reason. If you knew it was wrong, why did you do it? Marcus, my figure changed because I gave birth. Ask yourself honestly if we've reached this point because I gained weight, or because you had already changed your heart. I remembered Marcus's first words, when I was wheeled out of the delivery room. I always thought your waist would shrink back after having the baby, but you are still so fat. In that moment, I felt shock, disappointment, but mostly, a deep sense of being wronged. Because of his one comment, I desperately dieted right after my postpartum confinement and was even hospitalized from losing too much weight. Yet he still kept bringing up my figure. It was then I clearly realized he was only making excuses for his infidelity, trying to uphold his pitiable moral standards. Before, I just thought you were promiscuous. Now I've discovered you are a complete and utter scum, a rotten person with terrible character and values. Get out. I took the stun gun from the security guard, flipped the switch, and swung it hard at his belly. Marcus was caught off guard by my blow, his face instantly turning deathly pale. He clutched his belly, his face filled with disbelief. I didn't give him a second chance to speak. It was a blind spot in surveillance, and behind him were a dozen steps. I pressed forward, watching him miss a step and tumble headfirst onto the landing below. Does it hurt? Marcus' forehead was covered in blood, which streamed to his eyes, mixing with tears and smearing his face like a grotesque clown. I don't feel any pain. Marcus, I wouldn't forgive myself if I didn't make you experience this. The next day, Marcus arrived in a wheelchair. He was afraid others would see how pitiful his situation was, so he insisted on walking home by himself. Unfortunately, bad luck struck, and he fell twice more, breaking his shin bone. The judge meticulously recounted each piece of evidence I had submitted. With every word, Marcus' face grew paler. But to his dismay, my evidence was overwhelming. From chat logs to videos, physical evidence to witness testimonies, everything meticulously exposed Marcus' selfishness and promiscuity. I admit it. Marcus lowered his head. There's nothing more to say, Grace. I wronged you. I just have one last question. What exactly is your relationship with Mr. Elias? I was surprised he cared so much about that question. Then again, I realized it was typical. Someone like him, even if he was simultaneously cheating with a dozen other people, would still worry that my love for him wasn't pure. Seeing my silence, a flicker of panic quickly appeared in Marcus' indifferent eyes. Grace. The judge ordered Marcus to be silent. After a brief discussion, Marcus was ordered to be detained for 30 days. Although the law didn't recognize the agreement we had previously signed, that one party cheating meant the other would leave empty-handed, it did serve its purpose in dividing the assets, ultimately resulting in a 90-10 split in my favor. Marcus froze for a moment when he heard me complaining to the lawyer that he shouldn't even get 10%. He suddenly started trembling all over, biting his lower lip. Grace, did you ever truly love me? Love. I did. Marcus had taken up nearly my entire first half of life. But as deeply as I loved him, that's how much I hated him. I hated him until there were no tears left to cry. I didn't answer him, simply watching as the officers escorted him out of the courtroom. Marcus' expression went blank for a moment, as if something had silently shattered inside him. After a long pause, he said, "If you want it, take it all." A month later, Marcus and I went to pick up our divorce certificate. Grace, it's your period, isn't it? I made you some special health tonic. Drink it like water when you're hungry. Oh, this is my first time cooking something like this, and I'm allergic to the ingredients so I couldn't taste it, so please don't be critical if it's not good. He paused for a moment, seemingly thinking I was in a good mood, and went on, as if talking to himself. Do you remember the first time you got your period? You were adorably naive, you ran to Grandpa and told him you were dying. Grandpa, seeing it was you, also panicked, and the whole family dropped everything to take you to the hospital. Later, the doctor said you were just having your period, and I ended up rubbing your belly night after night. Mid-sentence, he suddenly choked up. Tell me, how did we end up like this? Grace, I can't bear to lose you. Can you please give me another chance? Let's remarry. I still want to hear Lily call me Dad just one more time. Are you out of your mind? I stared at him, bewildered. You are completely lost in a delusional fantasy, Marcus. Absolutely out of your mind. Have you looked in a mirror lately? Can't you take a good look at yourself before saying something like that? Who gave you the audacity to be so arrogant? Could you spare some of that nerve for me? I am worth hundreds of millions, and you have no money, no physique, and a criminal record. If I saw you on the street, I'd probably cross to the other side just to avoid the bad omen. If I were you, I'd wish you'd just vanish. What goes around comes around. His past insults and slanders against me had now turned into sharp blades piercing him. Marcus immediately fell silent. He broke down completely, covering his face with his hands, lowering his head deeply. However, I had no time to spare for his grief. I had already blacklisted him in the industry, and Tiffany, whom he once cherished, had been sentenced to 7 years in prison. He had even more reasons to grieve in the future. Grace. He opened his mouth. Several attempts to speak ended in incoherent babbling. Then don't try to salvage anything, Marcus. You are not worth it, and you don't deserve my forgiveness. We are completely over. The sky cleared. Scattered rays of light fell upon me, growing in intensity until they enveloped me entirely. It was a harsh winter, but the sun today was exceptionally warm. I didn't look back at him, nor did I stop my forward progress. Have you ever faced similar emotional challenges? If so, what would you do? Feel free to leave a comment in the comments section, and subscribe to my channel for daily updates.